Nope. No, we're in bad territory. Yeah. No, I feel you.
All right, welcome back to the interview area. We are joined by world number 7, Collin Morikawa. Collin, I assume you've had a chance to see the course. Talk a little bit about first impressions.
I love it. I think it's a really good golf course. I think tee to green. Some of these greens are pretty sloped, so you definitely have to put yourself in the right positions. And it's a U.S. Open, so you got to have all aspects of your game, being ready to play some great golf. But overall, I think it's a great golf course. I think it tests off the tee. It's fair though. It's not overly difficult, but it still is. You still have to hit good shots, and the approach shots when you're in the fairway. You can kind of get aggressive to some, and others. You put them in the middle of the greens, you might have a 30-footer with how small the greens are this week. So overall, I've enjoyed this course probably more than a couple other majors I've played, and I look forward to it.
Talk a little bit about where your game is right now and your preparation heading into this major.
Yeah, as of 2 weeks ago, probably really bad. This entire year has been weird. I've been known for my irons, and I've been known to hit cuts, and that shot just hasn't been there. And I went to the range probably more than I have over a long period of time, and this past week has been a real good grind and a real good just kind of grit to try and figure it out. So this week we're here to just play golf, learn how to make some birdies, and hopefully finish on top.
Here on the right.
Joe Claver from Golf News RI in Rhode Island. It's actually next week, the Northeast Amateur, but in 2017 you won the Northeast Amateur. Could you just talk about, reflect on that, but also how your preparation has evolved since that time?
Yeah, I think it was kind of cool because I played with two AMs today. I played with Michael Thorbjornsen and Nick Dunlop, and they're asking questions about how what do I need to do to get here? What do I need to do to play well as a pro? And it was cool to just kind of go back to how I prepped in college, how I prepped as a junior. I think the biggest thing is just learning how your routines and coming to these places and figuring out the ropes, and it can be overwhelming as an amateur. I mean, I remember my first U.S. Open at Pebble 3 years ago, and it's definitely overwhelming. But you have to learn how to just stay in your own lane and figure out, by Thursday, how do you play golf.
And how important was that Northeast Amateur win for you?
It was huge. I mean, it was one of the bigger amateur events throughout the summer. It was one that I obviously wanted to win, and to get that, I think I lost in a playoff at Sunnyhanna the week before. It started, a good stretch of golf for that summer.
Right here on your left to Luke.
Hey, Collin. A lot of golfers talk about needing to be mentally tough during weeks like this. I'm just curious, how you would define what a mentally tough golfer is.
Acceptance. I think, we are the best players in the world, and we set ourselves to high standards. And, sometimes when you don't perform the way you want to, you can get upset. It can be frustrating, and that's how it's been recently. But you just have to accept that, you're going to hit bad shots. It's just how do you go through the process, and how do you make sure that you're doing the right things leading up to the ball, walking into the shot. There's so many little things that aren't said or heard, or, no one else would know other than yourself. But that's the thing. It's the small things that really make a difference. You always hear that, but that's what it really happens, and that's what it takes to win majors.
Stay on the left here in the center.
Collin, the live question.
Or here we go.
A live question. Yeah, here we go. You obviously, well, I'm sure that you have huge respect for Phil as a player. Have you lost a little bit of respect for him because of what he's doing with live and all that sort of stuff? As a person?
No, not at all. I mean, look, everyone has their own position to choose what they want. I mean, you've heard that from multiple guys out here. But it doesn't change who I view Phil as, right? I mean, this is someone, obviously I watched Tiger growing up, but Phil was the guy that was right there. I mean, he was still an idol for many, many kids my age, right? And then he's going to continue to be that way. Look, just how we talked about, a year ago about, people's mental state and not feeling well or not feeling happy. We don't know what's going on behind the scenes of people's lives, right? You guys see us out here and you guys can make assumptions about what we do, but in reality, you don't know what's going on behind curtains. And that's for us to respect the lines of what they want to share and what they don't want to share. And I think these guys have made their decisions. I mean, it is upsetting because, look, I've been out here for 3 years, and I never would have imagined this is what we're going to have. This is what we'd have to deal with 3 years in as being a professional. All I dreamt about was playing on the PGA Tour, making putts to win tournaments, winning majors. And, for me, it's just how do I get back to focusing on that? Because this has been such a big distraction. This has been such a talk where, it's enjoyable to talk about it because, we all like gossip, right? We all like the drama. But at the end of the day, that's what it is. We're all trying to assume or make assumptions or make, guesses about what, this or that or who's going or what's going to happen next, is that we know just as much as you. We really do. I really don't know what's going on behind the scenes. So, but going back to your question as it relates to Phil, I mean, I haven't lost respect because he has done amazing things for this game.
You do know roughly what's going on. I mean, you've read the papers, you're an intelligent guy.
But you guys are writing the papers, right?
Well, yeah.
And that's the thing is like, one of my best friends said, he just texted me about this tweet from a random account saying, hey, there's these rumors. No, like it's crazy to see all these rumors because that's what they are, right? So yeah, I can read all these things, but everyone tells their kids don't believe what's on the internet, and that's what we're doing. That's exactly what we're doing right now, right? So I understand it's your guys' job to get all the details, but at the end of the day, I think we're asking the wrong people.
Live is not a fantasy. We're not making it up. And
right.
People
but what answers would you want out of me? Like, I can't tell you anything about it either.
I think we're going to move to Dan on the right.
Okay. I was going to ask you, you haven't been one of these guys who's been involved in a lot of these rumors. Is it still a distraction for you?
I think it is. I mean, I know when the tournament happened for Liv, and I wake up Thursday morning and I'm interested to see what's going to go on. So yeah, it is a distraction. And I think I read something or I saw what Brooks said earlier today, and I mean, I think he's onto something because we're here at a major championship and we're here to win the U.S. Open and we're here to play and beat everyone else in this field, in this great field. And that's what it's about. I think when you wake up and, I'm texting my agent or I'm texting my friend about like, hey, did you hear about this? Or, I'm getting news about this. It's fun. It's exciting because it is gossip. Who doesn't like gossip, right? But it also becomes a distraction. And you don't want to be focused on this or that. You want to be focused on playing golf. And I'd say, over the past, 6 months, it has been, I'm not going to blame it on any part of my golf game, like put that aside, but it is an extra distraction on thinking about this, thinking about that, and worrying about, who's going to ask what.
Another hard-hitting question about the championship then. With DJ and with Brooks, we got a lot of wedding talk, but it's been quiet. It's been quiet. Do you know when you're getting married? What's the update on that plan?
Yeah, no, I definitely know when we're getting married, but I'm not going to share it. We like to keep things private. I think that's who we are. I'm sure people will find out about it, but in no way is our wedding going to be as big as theirs. I think theirs were pretty impressive. Maybe Kat wants it like that. I don't know. I don't know yet.
We're going to stay here on the right.
Collin, you touched a little bit about playing with Mike today. I know he's a Stanford guy, so don't hold that against him. What do you think of his game?
Yeah, I don't hold anything against the other guys, other than Tiger.
Yeah.
His game's really solid. I mean, I've watched him play a couple times on TV. You see him, and obviously he's a name that stands out, with his resume. But it's just growth. I think there's so many young kids that we see, that can come out here and play well, but it's the small little things, right? And he was asking me, what are the small little things? And sometimes it comes back to that mentality of how you come out here when you turn pro. So look, he's a great player. He's got a great future ahead of him if he still wants to keep doing it and he puts everything to it, which it seems like he does. But it was just a lot of fun to see him and Nick and just kind of go back to, how it was 3-4 years ago, trying to just take everything in. It's a lot to take in at a major, first or second major when you're an amateur.
Thank you.
We're going to start right here.
Justin in here yesterday was telling us about actually losing sleep about the big picture of this, not the gossip, but the big picture. As an honors graduate of the nation's 8th-ranked business school, do you have any fears about the future of the PGA
Yeah,
Tour?
wow. I mean, you really set me up that I have to give a good answer now. It's so tough because, Justin's right. We don't want to be worrying about this a year or 2 years down the road. Some guys that have resigned, I think, right, that have joined Liv have fully grasped the idea that they're okay with not playing, and that's they're at peace, right? But everyone else isn't at peace. Some guys want to come back. Some guys maybe want to join. We don't want to go and we want it to end. There's so many things up in there that you're not really at peace because you don't know what the world's going to bring you the next day. And I guess that's life, right? We really don't know what's going to happen. And you're going to wake up hopefully every day very happy and ready to enjoy a new day. But with all this going on, I think at the end of the day, I have to realize and bring my perspective back on what I want to do. And that's win golf tournaments, win majors. And that's why we're here, play against the best in the world and win major championships. So, even though it has been a slight distraction, I think what I've heard from other guys' press conference is that it hasn't only been me. I think there's a lot of guys and it's a lot of talk. And who knew we loved all this drama?
We're going to continue down the line. Jeff and then Ryan.
Collin, this championship, what is your, if you don't mind taking us through your history qualifying wise? I know you became exempt once you were a Walker Cup player for qualifying, you qualified, but what's your history? What was your, and then now that you have two major championships, where does this one fall in terms of importance, both before winning those and now for you?
Yeah. Well, I suck at qualifying. I really do. I mean, U.S. juniors, never made a U.S. junior. USAM, I don't think I might have qualified once into a USAM, and then I was exempt from my world rankings. So really bad at that. And then the US Open, I might have gone 3 times until I turned pro, and I decided I hate California. No, I'm kidding. I love California. I just never played well in those events, and decided to go to the Ohio one 3 years ago, made that, and the rest is history. And the U.S. Open has always been important. I mean, it's an open, it's a major championship. It provides a different sense of a field, right? Guys can qualify, and that's why it was always exciting. Even as like a 13-year-old, you're like, man, maybe I can go play on the U.S. Open. And all it takes is a few good rounds. I think that's what's really cool. I think it's always been up there. I want to win all 4. So for me, it's not like I put one in front of the other. But now that I've won the PGA, I've won the Open. Maybe I'd like to win this one a little bit more than the others, or the other 2 that I've won. But majors are awesome. You only get 4 a year. Who's ready to show up? And I think that's what makes them so great.
Is this the best suited for your game?
I really don't know. I think I've always thought of U.S. Opens as very difficult, hard, long. I think if you look at I saw something. If you look at the past few champions or handful of champions, they're all guys that hit it pretty long. And but I think last year at Torrey really gave me the confidence that I can play well at a U.S. Open. Thankfully now I've been able to play at every major and have had decent success and been able to post a low number. And I think that is huge for my confidence, because, Winged Foot, I missed the cut, didn't play well. Pebble, I was just grinding as my second event as a pro. So when it comes down to it, I think last year is very, very beneficial for the future of my U.S. Opens, not thinking, I have to hit far just to win. I think now it just gave me the confidence I could come out here and win.
On your left, Ryan.
You've had such a smooth, steady ascent in your pro career. How are you handling this rare blip in performance?
I think just, it's taught me a lot about what kind of player I am, right? I want to be able to just play golf. I think the best players out here, it doesn't matter if it's good or bad, they're able just to put the ball in the hole. And I've been so worried about trying to hit this cut, like almost forcing a cut, that why not just play my miss, or why not play my shot shape? I think that's what Rory, Tiger, all the greats before us, they worked with what they got. And normally it is a cut. And normally when I'm playing worse, it's even more of a cut. But it just hasn't been that. And it's almost had a little draw shape to it. So this week, maybe we'll see a couple more draws, or, 2-yard draws. That's what I call a draw. And just play golf. I think it's been frustrating because all the prep has felt really good this year. The results just haven't been there. But hopefully we can put it together for 4 good rounds and finish up this year on a high note.
What's different? Why is it happening?
Why is the cut not happening? Just face control, like spin control with the irons, face not being able to keep it as open. Couldn't tell you why. I've gone through every video on my phone in my swing. I've gone through nearly every swing thought I can think of since college. And we just haven't hit the jackpot yet. So we'll get it back. I mean, I'm not saying I'm going to hit draws for the rest of my life. I'm sure cuts will come back in the next month or so. But it's just, it's a weird little thing in golf.
Back to Dan.
I know you pride yourself on consistency, so I'm wondering, how's your attitude been on the golf course and off the golf course? Like, when you're playing bad, does it affect your mood?
It's frustrating. I mean, there's been a couple rounds over the past couple months that I've kind of just shut off JJ and just hit my shot, do everything in my head, and that's not me. I think I'm normally a pretty happy golfer. I like to smile out there, and it definitely affects your mood, and it is frustrating because I do want to be consistent, but that's not what I'm thinking about. I think it just goes back to I felt like my prep was good, and it just didn't turn out that way. And sometimes when you think you're going to do everything right, it just doesn't happen. But that's life. That's life again. It's a learning experience. But I think where my game's at, where my head's at right now, I'm just ready to come out here and try and win again. It's focused every week, and how do I figure out how to play 4 good rounds is really it's more important than trying to hit my perfect little 5-yard cut.
Collin, thanks for your time. Good luck this week.
Thanks.